Today we're talking about balance. If you are a business owner or a career-focused professional and you struggle to get healthy, balance your career and your business with your time with your family, and you're wondering how to make it all work, this video is for you. My name is Brian Pickowicz.
And I'm Lindsey Rago, and we are the head coaches at The Fitness Project, where we build fit and healthy leaders. As we talk about balance, I want to give you a little bit of validation and maybe even some clarity as to why this is so difficult to achieve. After working with over 1,000 professionals and business owners at The Fitness Project, we've seen a pretty common pattern. Most of the people in this boat are high achievers. And because they're high achievers, they want to either do it big and be all in, or they're not going to do it. And the truth is, that mindset has gotten them very far in life, as it probably has for you too. It's probably one of the reasons that you're so successful with your career, or that you achieve pretty much every goal that you set. But the challenge with that mindset is that when we have that mentality, we are aiming for an unattainable level of perfection when it comes to our fitness and health. In this category of fitness and health, perfection just doesn't really fly. It's really hard to be what we perceive as perfect when it comes to just taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, and even the idea of perfectionism or being perfect with balance is antithetical.
Correct.
They don't work together. And so in order for us to progress to the point where we can have balance, we have to let go of everything that has been, and we kind of have to start this season anew. We have to cleanse ourselves of the idea that we have to be pushing ourselves aggressively with our training, or we have to be restrictive with our dieting, or we have to make everything work. We have to step back and we have to approach this season that we're going into with a new lens and a new mindset.
With that new mindset, that's really what's going to allow you to develop that sense of balance. Because again, you can't be perfect with balance. It's something that flexes and changes throughout the seasons. So the first thing that we want to do when we're thinking about creating balance is to define what balance actually means for you. What does balance mean in this season? And I'm going to walk you through a few questions that you can ask yourself to really determine what it is that you are craving when you say, I just want to be balanced, right? Because everybody's going to be a little bit different. So here are some things to think about. And I would honestly grab a pen and write these down or rewatch this so that you can jot some of these things down. First question is, what would balance look like for you in this season of life? How would being balanced enhance your quality of life? What are the things that you want to be doing that you don't feel like you currently can do? If you were to meet yourself where you're at, what could you realistically commit to? How many days a week would you be able to work out or train? What are some simple food choices that you could eliminate from your diet or change that would help you feel so much better and more, quote, balanced on a daily basis? These are questions that will give you clarity. And once you have this idea and this definition of balance on your mind, then we can start to address some of those bigger dominoes, the things that we need to knock down so that you can get healthier, you can have more energy, you can accomplish all of the fitness goals that you have for yourself.
And it's really important to know that what you just did by answering those questions is you created a criteria for success, which means you know what your target is. If we don't have a target to shoot for, then we stay in this vague place. Even the word balance, it's an undefined term. You're going to have your own form of balance. I'm going to have my own form of balance. Even Lindsey, who lives in the same household and follows the same lifestyle patterns, has her own form of balance that really helps her feel grounded and whole. So you need to define balance for yourself, and that creates the criteria for which you can move forward from. The second thing with balance, though, is we have to start to remove or eliminate the things that are keeping us from executing or feeling like we're pouring back into ourselves. And so one of the things that we do to improve the way that we're functioning in our work, in our life, and our sense of balance is we ask 3 questions. What can you eliminate? What can you delegate? And what can you automate? So what can you eliminate from your life or your day that no longer serves you, no longer has to be there, that really doesn't produce a result, but you just keep doing it again and again and again? What's something you can delegate? If you're a business owner, there's I can guarantee there's tasks that you're performing that are below your pay grade. And even if you're not a business owner, there's things that you're doing that are worth less, not worthless, but worth less than your hourly wage. By paying someone else to do that, or by just asking for someone to support you, or just getting someone else to help you out once in a while, you're going to start to have more of your energy in your space. And automation. There's so many things you can automate now with technology that you couldn't in the past. So there might be things that you're doing that you might be able to delegate and automate altogether. And a great example of this comes from something that we did a few years ago, where we realized that we were spending almost 2 to 4 hours a week grocery shopping. And we saw that there was this great app called Instacart. And so we're like, oh, if I create a list once in Instacart, I can delegate this to someone else every week. I don't have to go and change the menu because we eat pretty much the same things. But I can delegate to someone else and pay them to do it, give them a good tip. But I will save 3 or 4 hours every week. That has saved us over 150 hours every year. What could you do with 150 hours a year? A lot of times with balance, it's not about what we add, it's about what we take away. And so by starting to eliminate things or delegating them, you create a better system for you to assess where does your energy and time need to go. And that's one of the most important decisions you can make.
Yeah, and it's really so helpful to even think of just removing the mental load of all of those different tasks that are running through your head all of the time. If you can just reduce that mental load, you will instantly already start to feel more balanced, because a lot of times what we're looking for when we say we want balance is a sense of presence and peace. Once we have these targets and these ideas more defined and we start to give ourselves more bandwidth, reduce that mental load, then we can look at how we can start taking those effective actions. What can we start to add in or shift in the things that we're doing day by day or week by week? The truth is, although we want balance and we want that sense of peace to just come,
the flow,
we cannot achieve balance without intention or a plan of action. We still have to intentionally create balance. So first, what we want to do to focus on effective action is create a specific schedule or criteria for our own health. And the first thing we want to give you is really what you can focus on in your health, so you don't have to think of 20 different things that you could or should do. Things like blocking out 2 to 3 specific times per week where you can work on your health is a huge start. And you can make those slots 20 to 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be a 90-minute workout. You can go for a 20-minute walk or do a 30-minute yoga session or a 30-minute workout. But build that time in and make it something that's really doable. Second, build out exclusive time for your family. That is non-negotiable. Because a lot of times when people say balance, they want more time or, again, more presence with people that they care about, and they want to take care of themselves. So build out exclusive time for family, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour, that is non-negotiable, that you don't move anything else for. It doesn't have to compete with your fitness. Add both of those things in. But the most important note for success here is, with these simple action items, make them simple, make them super easy, and make them something that you're going to find very, very rewarding, even with those, quote, small chunks of time built out for them.
The first thing we want to do in order to build balance is we want to prioritize movement. That could be walking, it could be stretching, that could be going for a slight jog or doing some weight training. But movement is the most essential habit that helps us improve everything else. You think about it, how many times a day do we eat? Right? It's happening automatically. But how often do we move? Right? If we move, we have a higher probability of us eating healthier. It's influencing us to make a healthier decision when we do sit down to eat. So move your body. Do something as simple as a squat, a hinge, a push, a row, and a carry once per week if you're doing strength training, and that's going to start you down that path of moving your body consistently. Then, what we want to do for number 2 is we want to start to eat breakfast. A lot of people skip breakfast because they don't have time. They get really hungry around 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. If you don't eat breakfast and you wait till 11 p.m., we have a different conversation to have. But you wait till 11 a.m. to eat, and you're ravenous. And then it's like, oh, what's there? What's available? And that's usually a lot of processed food that's not very healthy for you. So focus on eating a healthy breakfast, and that will improve the likelihood that you'll have a healthy lunch and make healthier decisions long tail.
And after that, the third thing that you want to focus on to have more balance is typically the first thing to go, which is sleep. Sleep is probably the most underrated or overlooked part of your health. We always think that it's the negotiable one. We can get less sleep, we can catch up later. But the truth is, not having proper amounts of or quality of sleep really impacts your mood and your energy the most. It impacts your cognitive function, your ability to focus. It makes it a lot harder to manage your weight and or lose weight if that's your goal, and it disrupts your digestive and hormone health.
And so that is how you build balance. A, start with a definition. Create a criteria for success. B, or number 2, delete. What can you eliminate? What can you delegate? And what can you automate? Number 3, schedule time. Doesn't matter what you're specifically going to be doing, but schedule the time. And then we can focus on movement, we can focus on eating a healthy breakfast, and we can focus on prioritizing our sleep. So all the things in our life start to move into a position where we feel better, we have better energy, we have more focus, we feel grounded, and we are healthier. So we hope this is helpful. If you love this video, leave us a comment below. Let us know your biggest takeaway. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and let us know what are you taking away from the Fitness Project's YouTube videos or the podcast. And more than anything, go out and conquer your day.
Cheers.
Cheers.